Up and running for another one of our HD play-by-plays of Section 3 hockey today. Actually, a little bit of a Section 3, Section 4 crossover game between Ithaca, the Little Red, and the Auburn Maroons here at the Casey Park Arena in Auburn, New York. I'm Ben Myers. Sorry for the lack of just audio only on the internet side. We have our first penalty of the game we'll get to in just a second. Get all the superlatives out of the way as well. But had to go through the phone once again. Casey Parkers, they do have Wi-Fi, but lost the signal. Try and get that back between periods. First power play of the game will go to Little Red though. As you can see, going left to right, or right to left, excuse me, as you watch. At home, getting sent off early was Mike Tarby for interference, and 1:15 still on the power play for the Little Red as they try and work it through the zone. 14-13 left, no score yet here between Ithaca and Auburn. Out at the point now through the far circle, shot on, and this one's going to get just wide as the Little Red had the first try toward goal there. Alright, shot gets through and it's going to be saved in front. So they gave Tarby a hooking call instead of interference on that one. Still 49 seconds left on the power play for the Little Red as they'll change out. 13:52 left in the first period. Taken back around by Mike Gentile as Auburn tries to clear their zone, unable to do it so far. In goal tonight for the Maroons is not Jeff Gardner. We thought it would be. 4-1 as the shot gets on, and this is going to be saved. Try that time came up through the middle from Mike Abdulke of Ithaca, but third save already as we remain scoreless here in the early going. 13:34 left in this first period between Ithaca and Auburn. I'm Ben Myers for AuburnPub.com, bringing you the X's and O's this evening from Casey Park as the Maroons are able to clear their zone. They're going to try and kill a little bit of time off this one. Actually going to have an offside here and bring it out into neutral ice. 13:26 left in the first, still 0-0. Apologies on the internet side. We do have pictures that are going to be on YouTube later tonight. But just black and white and the melodious tones of myself bringing you tonight's game between Ithaca and Auburn in high school hockey. Clear the zone, head of steam coming out of the wickets there was Jake Orlando. Gets it over the blue line and into Ithaca ice for the first time tonight. But Little Red recovers, trying a long pass there, unable to connect, and then eventually going to go for an icing call as Jamie Kelly was in pursuit for the Maroons. 2 seconds left on the power play for Ithaca. Anyway, so try and get to the live video in between periods here. Somehow had a hiccup in the Wi-Fi working in the pregame. And of course, right when things start, everything goes asunder. But first face-off in Ithaca ice. Back to full strength for both sides. This one's going to be held in Little Red ice. Parker Hubble there trying to move it around, unable to clear the zone. Now it'll be between the slots, come near side boards. People are going to battle for it there. Tarby, who got that hooking penalty earlier, was the one who delivered the hit, but puck ends up in Auburn ice. Now shot in front and a goal for the Little Red. Scott Hardington, his 5th of the season. And he has Ithaca up 1-0 with 12:42 left in the first period. Auburn winning the draw, trying to get a shot in, bouncing off a defender in front. It was Brian Franicelli who got the try that time for Auburn, but he couldn't get it through to the goaltender. Between the pipes tonight for the Little Red is Brandon Castle. 4-1 on the season, 100 saves exactly, 132 goals against, saving shots at a 95.2% clip so far this season. 12:10 left to go in the first period. 1-0 Ithaca on top of Auburn in this early season matchup of two teams who both only have one loss on the season. Little defeat came in their last out at Corcoran. go. There's the line on the goal there. Give the goal to Parrington, assisted on the play by Grippin, his 5th helper of the season. Try for Auburn here to keep it in Ithaca ice. Unable to do so, cleared up along the boards, and we're going to wave off the icing here as it will get all the way to the Auburn goalkeeper. Defended out there. Now Tarby will start it back up, deflected through Farrington on the near side, but Ithaca has it back, moving along behind the goal by Feeney. And eventually out of the zone, bringing it forward will be Carson Case. And he'll get it back in Auburn ice. 11:03 left in this first period. 1-0 Ithaca out in front. They'll keep the puck in. Eventually slung around the near side boards. Skewed by the crowd here. Good crowd tonight for a midweek game, as here come the Maroons. Drive it up with Nettie. Nettie's going to take it off to the left-hand side. Trying to get a pass across the slot. Unable to find a connection, though, and it'll get knocked out. Back near the blue line through a defender, and now the race is on to get it in the Auburn zone. Winning the foot race will be Stebbins. He'll move it along himself to the far side boards. Eventually play it over to Nettie. Nettie can't clear the zone. Here comes Ithaca one more time. They'll put it in the corner. That time was Wolzansky. Back in behind, near side boards. Can't see who's going to emerge with it, but they will clear the zone, and they're going to have to go back to Wolzansky. Now bounce off the boards and into Auburn ice one more time before it's collected by Gentile. Gentile tries to play it off the glass. We might have a hand pass here unless it's touched by Auburn. Maroons do get it and get it out into the neutral zone. Picked off there by Abdulki, and here he comes. He'll get a shot on this save. It's going to be made and held. We'll have a stoppage with 10:04 left in the first period. Ithaca up 1-0. 6 shots for Little Red already. Nothing yet for the Maroons. Face-off held in by Ithaca. Move it back in behind with Emerson. He'll lose control there, but he has somebody to help him out in the form of Baylor. Baylor play it back and behind. Pin it up against the back of the net. Auburn trying to clear the zone. Bodies collide. Now we're back out into neutral ice. Emerson does a little bit of a 360. Can't keep the handle, though, and they're going to wave off the ice in here. Going in pursuit is Tarby back in behind his own goal. Try to play it off to a teammate. Lost the handle, though, and now we'll go into the slot. And policing it up there was the Auburn defense and knocking it back out into neutral ice. Up along near side boards. Or eventually controlled by Ithaca. They have it in the neutral zone, coming back the other way. 9:20 left in the first period. Lose the handle along the blue line, but Little Red's able to dump in, delayed offside, but Auburn's going to touch it up back in behind their own as the Little Red retreats back into neutral ice. Drive it out up the right side with Mike Gentile. He tries to go up and over the top, loses the handle, though. Eventually is picked off by Dakota Baylor. He'll move it along his own boards, back in behind his own goal. Far side now, bounce it off the cardboard one, now 2 more times as Stebbins kept it in for Auburn. 8:55 left in the first period, 1-0 Ithaca out in front. Neutral zone, Auburn's going to control, try and dump it back in. They will get it back in behind. Castle in goal, and it goes to the far side boards. It's pinned up there by a couple members of Little Red and a few Maroons. Back and forth near the blue line. I think, and you're not going to believe this, folks, 2 guys between Ithaca and Auburn, you know, obviously had helmets on everything, clunked heads together, and their helmets actually got stuck together. Helmets actually got stuck together. Referee had to stop play and pull them apart because the latches or the snaps somehow got mixed up between each other, and their helmets got stuck together on the far side. Back to action, 8.5 left in this opening period. Ithaca up 1-0. They get it into Auburn ice, pinned along the boards back and behind the goal. Now moved out to the far side, and Auburn's able to clear their zone out in the neutral ice. Weird bounce off there, and it'll come back. Eventually it'll be grabbed by Lattimore. He'll bring it up the right wing, but he'll lose the handle there, and here comes Little Red back the other way as defenders change back and behind. Try to take advantage of Ithaca. Can't do so, though. Almost a delayed offside there. Kept a skate on somehow along the blue line. 8 minutes left. Now we're back into the neutral zone as the Auburn defense recovers. Playing it along near side boards a couple of times. Now we'll switch inside and go to the far with Estel for Ithaca. Play it back and forth. A little catch with Feeney there. Now they'll try and move it up the left and into Auburn ice. 7:45 left in the first period. 1-0. Little Red in front. 6-0 are your shots in favor of Ithaca. Little Red, of course, the only Section 4 team, and a chance there for Auburn, but Mike Fultz lost a handle in the slot. Now it'll go back in behind the Ithaca goal. Back and forth, go defenders, trying to get something going, but it's going to be deflected up and out of the zone. And we're going to have icing here against the Little Red. Like we were saying, only Section 4 team is Ithaca, so they get folded into Section 3 play for much of their season. This is the only time they visit Auburn this year. They already have been on the road a couple of times, winning at Shenendehowa and Clifton Park, which is a little bit north of Albany, and then at Ontario Bay, which is up all the way in Haldane. They took a 5-1 win at Shen and a 10-2 win at Ontario Bay. So Little Red off to a good start this season, even though they lost their last at Corcoran, their last time out. Dump it in near side for Auburn. 7 minutes left as it gets pinned back in behind Castle in the Ithaca goal. Skates kicking at it. Now it'll bounce off the back of the net and finally emerge with it up the left side now through neutral ice. Unable to find Abdulki on the pass though, and now Auburn will have it back. Abdulki back in pursuit. He'll dump in for Ithaca. He got it back on his stick somehow, and now the defenders for the Maroons playing it back and forth. Eventually will end up with Jamie Kelly on the far side, now out in the neutral zone. 6.5 left, 1-0, Little Red out in front. Cruise in up the left side with Foltz. He'll lose the handle there and then eventually be taken away by Wolzanski and try and bring it up the left for Ithaca. Pass in front is deflected down into the corner. Now a lining up, and this one's going to be knocked away by Castle. And we might have a hand pass here on Ithaca. Nope, they said touched it first. So we'll have near side boards for Auburn as they battle for it there. 6:12 left in the period, 1-0. Ithaca emerges with it, bring it up the left wing and dump in with Hubble. And they'll go back in behind. Little Red got to get a change behind the play. 6 minutes left in the opening period. 1-0. Ithaca leads Auburn here at Casey Park. Here come the Maroons through the neutral zone. Bring it over and in eventually with Francelli. Trying to get a pass back, that time to Wood, unable to do so. Taken away by Ithaca. Here they come the other way. Leading the charge will be Emerson up the left side. Trying to get a pass in a slot shot. No, defenders were there to take it away. Ithaca hold in though, bounce it off the boards back and forth. Now Auburn gets a steal backhand through the neutral zone. Might have icing up here. Nope, we're going to run it down with Ithaca as the Maroons get a change in. Little Red trying to take advantage. Long pass there, eventually connects with Pfaff. He lost the handle though. Now we're back in behind as the Auburn defenders had it pinned up against the boards. 5:20 left in the opening period. 1-0. Ithaca leads Auburn. We'll go back and forth along the near side, obscured by the crowd. Bounce it through. Chance in the slot. This one's going to get through and get covered up eventually. We're going to have a face-off in Auburn ice with 5:09 left in the first period. Puck is down, controlled by Ithaca. They've been dominating the dot so far tonight. Play along to the far side boards though. Auburn defenders are there, try and clear the zone, unable to do so. We go back in behind and around. Eventually collected, now moved out near the blue line. Misfire there by Jake Orlando as he tried to get in the neutral ice. Collected by Eli Gordon. He brings it back in for Ithaca, but they can't connect on a pass, and now it'll be stolen away by Kelly at the back. He tries to get another pass off for Auburn, can't connect there. Auburn can't clear their zone. Back in behind one more time. 4:38 left in the first period. 1-0 Ithaca out in front. Little Red working the point now. Shot up coming, and this one's going to get all the way through. And this save out's loose, and it's eventually knocked home. Thought the save was made initially. Puck came out. Nobody knew where it was, and it's eventually stuffed home by the Little Red, and they take a 2-0 lead with 4:27 left in the first period. Neutral zone, bounce it back and forth. Auburn will eventually have it on their right side, trying to get into Ithaca ice, unable to do so just yet. Now we're going to have a delayed offside. Now we're back on for the Maroons, who have yet to get a shot this period. 2-0 Ithaca leads on the heads-up play. We'll see who they credit that one with. Whoever it was Johnny on the spot. It looked to me like it was either one or it might have been Eli Gordon that was there to knock it in. To wait and see. It was either 3 or 13. Tough to see once they got into the little circle of congratulatory exchange after the goal was scored, but it is 2-0 in Ithaca's favor, 10-0 in favor in terms of shots. We're going to have a cover-up at the back for the Maroons at a stoppage with 3:42 left in the first period. So give the goal to Gordon, Pfaff on the assist. Try here for Auburn, they almost got one through, but were unable to get it on target. Bounces wide in the far side corner. Clear to the zone for Ithaca, back into neutral ice, gathered in by Kelly. He'll try to attack up the right side as they get defenders changed behind the play for Auburn. 3:07 left in the first, and whistle on the ice, and I think we have a timeout for Ithaca here, which is an odd place to call a timeout. So maybe too many men on the ice, because they did just send a man to the box. So Gavin Wenzel's in the box. Might be too many men on the ice for Ithaca instead. Little Red trying to get the personnel right on the ice. Chance in front, it's going to go just wide. Orlando had to try that time. So as a Little Red try and get the personnel worked out, Auburn takes advantage of the power play, gets their first score of the night on their second shot. Drive from the point and end up getting all the way in. So power play goal for the Maroons, cuts the lead in half, makes it 2-1. Draw one by Ithaca, they'll try the right side. So a misconduct penalty against the Ithaca bench cost them a player on the ice. They have personnel issues, and Auburn takes advantage and gets their first goal of the evening, made it 2-1. So pushing and shoving in front of the goal here. 2:09 left in the period. Give the goal to Gentile. Nick Nettie on the assist, his fourth of the season. And it's 2-1 Ithaca. Shots stand 12-2 in the Little Red's favor. Like we said, a little bit of confusion out there for the Little Red getting the personnel right, and then they get the goal. Auburn does at least. Cuts the lead in half. 2 minutes left in the period. On the near side boards, a couple of bodies collide with the glass. Auburn emerges with it. Try and get it out the left side in the neutral zone. Do so, but it's picked off by Emerson. He's going to backhand it back into Auburn ice. Back in behind and around. Maroons turn it around there. They're going to play it off the left side and eventually play it off the cardboard and get it to Patera. Over the blue line, cruises in, has it taken off his stick there, and here comes Little Red back the other way. 3-on-2 developing. Trying to jump back in the play will be Wood. Up the left side, trying to get something going, maybe a wrap around here. No, they're going to take it all the way to the far side corner and fire it back along the boards. Doing the work that time was Abdulki. Through neutral ice, deflected. We won't have icing here. Foot race for it back in behind the goal. Gerhardt gets a stick to it, tries to play to the far side, eventually gets it over to Abdulki, who'll take it back in behind his own goal, back in behind Castle. 1:10 left in the period, 2-1. Shot gets through, and Castle's going to glove this one and hold on. Quick shot off the draw. Saved by Castlegan. Do it all over. 1:04 left in the period. Bounced off the boards. Another try near Castle. Didn't get on him though. Chance in front. Couldn't get a handle on it. Digging at it was Farrington, but he couldn't get enough wood on it. Back into neutral ice. Auburn will dump it again. Got a delayed offside though, and this one's going to get up into the Ithaca bench. And we're going to have a stop. We're going to have face-off upcoming in the neutral zone. 49.2 left in the period. 2-1 is our score in Ithaca's favor over Auburn here at Casey Park. The shots stand 12-4 for the Little Red. Bounce it back and forth, eventually ends up on Auburn sticks, top of the slot, chance coming, no, it's going to get it up to the defender, skates, and then knocked away into the corner. Auburn almost had a chance to get another shot right there. Hand is up, we're going to have a penalty here against Auburn. And we're going to have elbowing is the call, 34.8 left in the period. Actually, they're going to send both of them into the box. Dakota Baylor and Mike Gentile both go into the box, so we're going to remain at even strength. .8 left in the period. One in the box for each side. Puck back in behind the Ithaca goal. Try and get it back out to the point, unable to do so. Bounce it back and forth, eventually corralled and played by Abdulki. He can't get it out of the zone though. It was held in that time by Stebbins. Back in behind once again. Auburn and Ithaca fighting for it there. Eventually emerged will be Nettie. Nettie tried to backhand a pass and then finally did, but can't get it back out to the point for that shot. Barely keep it in on side for the Maroons. Again near the blue line. It's eventually cleared that time. Getting the stick to it was Gearhart. 2-on-2 back the other way. Only 2 seconds left in the period though. We're going to come to the end of the first 15 minutes of game time. Ithaca 2, Auburn 1 as you listen and watch AuburnPub.com. I'm Ben Myers for the Auburn Citizen. Be back with the rest of it in just a little bit.